Brad Johnson, and welcome to the Next Conscious Matrix Communication video, where in this video we're going to be talking about planetary, galactic, and universal councils. So how does, for example, the very first aspect of this, the planetary council, work? The planetary council in that sense consists of the main branch that represents 12. So on our planet we have a council of 12, just containing our own Earth. And that these particular 12 council members are incarnated in the flesh and are human. And that some of these particular council members are even completely unaware that they're actually members of the Earth Council. And so here's the particular grid here that would represent the planet. Now some may suspect that perhaps some of the Council of 12 that are a part of this planet are mostly in the indigenous circles, perhaps something that is aboriginal, where this actually isn't always the case. Mostly relating to the council members are parts of all walks of life. So if you have the 12 particular council members here, they're all working in different forms, even literally being oblivious to each other, relating to the caretaking of the planet. And so the 12 that represent the human, or the third to fourth density council members, exist as human. Now there are also other particular council members existing in different densities, such as the first and the second. They themselves are part of the Council of 12. So it's certain jurisdictions relating to density structures relating to the planet herself. And that these particular 12 council members are often in assemblage together throughout the entire energetic collective. So as they are performing their physical lives on the planet, and they can be very, very simple people. They can be people who are, performing the modernized type of jobs. They can be the shamans or the aborigines, etc. But they're all performing different forms of work, different types of work, corroborating to the aspect of forming a council. And so what is it that the council is responsible of? Caretaking. They are the overseers. They are the direct representatives of the collective consciousness. So reps of the collective. Now their particular position is not authoritative. Much in regards to their position is again just being an overseer. Much relating to their tasks throughout the times that passed have been through the orchestration of creating the grid, of working together with the energies. And again, it's not so much that the physical body was. Some of them may have gone to sacred areas of the planet, just say that's an island, for example, and some of them may have ventured there and asked to perform ceremony in certain areas. But their soul matrix itself is what's literally taking care of certain aspects relating to the planet. Those who may be very, very connected to the water, connected to the land, connected to the earth, connected to different regions of the planet. They're all sculpting, they're all overseeing, they're all working together in these tasks. And basically how the 12 would work themselves out in regards to the branches of these tasks is that they have divisions. So you would have divisions of the 12, several more here, that would become 24. And then they would have divisions that would become 36, and so on and so on and so on. And so these would be sub-logoi to the logos that represents the 12. And so basically what that means is that the extensions of the 12 carry out throughout different tasks to assemble in majority in regards to what needs to be completed through the 24, through the 36, through the 48, etc., etc. But all of those invert themselves back up into the Council of 12. So the Council of 12 represents these 12 human beings that are, you could say that they're pretty much like avatars. and that they function in regards to human form as they are compliant with their density in the physical, yet they are doing a lot more work in the spiritual relating to the overseeing of this planet. Who are these 12 people? Well, that's for themselves to introduce. I have spoken to a couple people who have claimed that they've been part of the Council of 12 relating to Earth, to Gaia. But again, it's all up to them to decide to come forward in their own time relating to the tasks that they have carried out. But you would understand them very commonly as way showers or ones who are assisting with quote-unquote starseed matters, etc. They're often very, very spiritual, very loving people. They do have, modern tasks that they do from day to day. But again, they're all together more so in spirit. They're always working together alongside the collective consciousness of what this planet represents to ensure that everything that has been brought out relating to the collective intent is carried out together. So they are liaisons, they are overseers relating to everything that represents planet Earth to be brought forward in regards to experiences, in regards to collective intent, in regards to transformation. All of that is being taken care of and overseen through the Council of 12. So a lot of their particular role is indigenous all across the planet, working together with energies, working together with timelines, and overseeing much of the matters that relate to the evolutionary patterns of planet Earth. So that's the Council of 12 relating to Earth, and again, branching off to other subdivisions who are creating tasks within the original 12. So these are mostly just the overtones that are coming back into the 12 that are working in association with the 12. They're like sub-councils, so to speak, that would represent the 24, the 36, the 48, etc. And it just keeps going. But this all brought forward in regards to the contingency of 12. Alright, so now we're going to get rid of this. Now we'll start talking about our solar system. Okay. So here's the sun, here's the planets, etc. Okay, so what about our star system? What is the council in regards to our star system? Alright, well, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta make sure I include the big planet in here. Alright, our star system is governed through the Council of Saturn. And the Council of Saturn exists one particular plateau of what's known as the Confederation of Planets, otherwise known as part of the rings of Saturn, the council that's contained within the rings of Saturn. So they are the overseers. They're the ones that run the jurisdiction of the entire solar system. Now again, they're not really authority, but they are maintainers in regards to the celestial order that represents the collective consciousness of our entire star system. They're the ones that bring out all of the interfacial qualities relating to our collective consciousness spanning the star system. Alright? So they represent a council of 12. Now, would they have more say-so in regards to, say, the Council of Earth? Well, it's not really about the idea of say-so. It's understanding that everything is a linked chain. Right? So everything in regards to that chain moving upwards all associate in regards to harmonious degrees. It's harmonious. It's divine order that's taking place here. So this bottom chain here could represent Earth. This bottom portion, this middle portion here can represent Saturn, or the Council of Saturn. Okay, this portion right here can relate to more of a cluster. This can relate to Sirius. Okay, so they all function in regards to different chain effects. So there are councils within the planets, there are councils within the star system, there are councils that form a collective neighborhood of stars. So we have our star here, we have Sirius, we have the Centaurs down here, etc. And they all represent group clusters. Now, beyond Saturn, much in regards to our cluster of neighborhoods, is often overseen through the Sirian Council, which is also a council of 12. So certain particular galactic planes, and by galactic I mean star system planes, will associate particular liaisons that are more elder in regards to their experiences of sharing, overtaking roles relating to councils. But they all relate to each other. So again, nothing really would say, well, we're this counselor, we're in charge, you gotta do what they say or else. They're not authoritative in that sense. They're not that type of hierarchy. They all work together into a state of communion because you're talking about the brothership of spirit. So this chain will continue to grow and it continues to escalate upwards. And if you're looking down at the bottom, you have our own particular planet, and of course then you have the different densities, etc., etc., and it continues to work down. There's councils of the elementals, there's councils of the animals, there's councils of the plants, etc., etc. It all just continues to go down and down and down, and it continues to rise up and up and up. It is the microcosm of the macrocosm. And so we even have a galactic council contained within the entirety of our galaxy, that it would be contained within the center of this galaxy. The great white light, or what many people have thought that is a white hole or a black hole that's connected in regards to the center of this galaxy. And that this is where that particular council lies. That's absolutely correct. They exist as non-corporeal beings, where it is literally just pure light connecting together with all of us, and that each council corresponds to everything that's being brought forward through the sum of its chain above it. So if we have Sirius here, we have connections that are coming down to Saturn, and we have connections that are coming down to Earth, to our star system, etc. It's all part of a chain effect. Everything affects something else. So again, if you're really to see a connection of gears here, that all these gears have to turn in unison. And that's all these councils represent, is that there are some councils that are bigger relating to their size of their gears in regards to what they're overseeing, but they still have to turn in unison when a smaller gear turns. And that's really what it represents. It's just one big, divinely created machine, to where all the gears are turning in regards to their own momentum, where all other gears will turn in unison as well too, to complement that movement. And that's basically what's happening. It's just large gears and small gears working together, all in harmony. That's the whole idea. Okay? And again, other galaxies will have other councils, other planets within those galaxies will have councils. And they all interrelate with us. It's just that we don't realize that they're being interrelated with us. So again, we have our Milky Way galaxy here, that spiral on it. And we have the Andromedan galaxy over here, and then we have all these other walls of galaxies all across here. Over here, and over here, and over here, and over here, over here, over here, over here. And they all interconnect. They're all the gears of the machine. The infinite machine connecting all of them together. Right? So again, that's all it is. And that the councils themselves are just basically the parts of overseers that are sharing in regards to what is being represented through the energies that are coherent with the themes that each of the planets, each of the galaxies are exploring. And that they all feed back off each other. Other councils are talking to other councils all the time. Again, it's a chain effect. Nothing is ever lost in that chain. So, a lot of in regards to what we've been experiencing upon the planet Earth have been relating to a lot of the intervention energies, have been all part in regards to what has been decided through many different councils. That the Council of Saturn holds a particular jurisdiction, but not really an authority, relating to everything that's going on within this star system. Sirius represents a lot of the jurisdiction of what's happening within our localized neighborhood because they have the experience, they have the elderly wisdom, so to speak, to oversee a lot of these matters. And some people may be asking, well, what about the Andromedan Council? What is the Andromedan Council? The Andromedan Council do have a lot of responsibilities, but mostly their responsibilities is that they're watchers. Is that they're mostly just associating themselves on a greater degree of level to watch in regards to how observation can be kept intact relating to observing mostly Earth and the star system. So they're bringing much more of an objective observational standpoint, kind of stepping in relating to the Council of Saturn. Because the Council of Saturn has had quite a bit of karmic relations relating to this star system and to Earth and all that. So the Andromedan Council is mostly just being these particular liaisons, kind of watching behind the Council of Saturn, the Confederation of Planets. Again, there's been a lot of karmic debris that's been affected in that way, and just making sure that everything stays observant. Not so much in specifically to the councils, but in regards to how everything correlates to everything else. So that there's nothing in regards to, treaties being violated or other particular matters relating to our own evolution, development, what's taking place in the star system, that not one particular aspect of the star system is getting more of an edge over another one, because there have been a lot of accounts relating to Sirius in regards to other groups, Orion groups, reptilian groups, etc., that really want to try and have edges, have more of a vantage point on a higher perspective in certain areas of the star system. And that the Confederation of Planets has been dealing with them for quite some time, and they're just, it's kind of like playing a tug of war between the two of each other. And so the Andromedan Council will step in that sense and make sure that through observation everything is brought forward together in fairness. So it's kind of like they're just functioning as a liaison, as a helper, in regards to making sure that certain things are brought into accordance, relating to a just, balanced scale of everything taking place on our planet and in our star system, or our own personal galaxy, of our own sub-logo relating to the logos that represents the galaxy. Right? So again, no one's barking orders at anybody, no one's threatening any other people to say that this is what you have to do or else. That's not how the councils work. Everything in regards to those type of menacing forces are always contained within different groups that may not represent councils, but more so bodies or organizations, etc. So again, the Universal Council, again, consists of a group of 12. This is often referred to as the Elohim in that sense, and they represent a council of 12, and that they associate with many other different verses, which would represent universes as well too. And so again, they just have a higher perspective of things in regards to other councils, and that they associate. No one has an ego trip and saying, oh, these beings in the universe, they have such an ego trip and they're doing this and they're doing that. They're interacting with other verses, and that these other verses represent the universe altogether. It is a united verse. And so we're having all of these other universes in regards to their councils of 12 interacting with our own universes in our council of 12s. They're just overseeing things. They're making sure that the continuity relating to the experiments of everything adjacent in regards to their creation is being brought forward. So again, that's all that the councils represent. It is to be a council. It is to literally be the embodiment that, shall I say, represents the essence of all the members of 12, are embodiments of everything else microcosmic to its design. So, and everything that represents this macrocosm is a macrocosm in regards to everything else taking place in other universes. And that the universes themselves have a myriad of experiences to where these universes appear microcosmic. So everything is representing everything else. So the 12 council members that are on our planet are merely just extensions of each of us. They do not have an ego trip and feeling that, oh, I'm the council member here and that you got to do what I say. Their physical bodies are the avatars, relating to their spirit that represents their conjunction to be legion with all other souls upon the planet. It's the same goes with every other planet in our star system, the same with our star system, the same with our galaxy, the same with other galaxies, and the same with the universe. They have an avatar, but those avatars are legion in regards to who they are and what they represent as a conglomerate of beings together that represent the wholeness of the council. So no one is ever being treated unjustly, because it's a microcosm of a macrocosm relationship. It is microcosm, macrocosm, constantly funneling over itself. Microcosm of the macrocosm, microcosm of the macrocosm, microcosm of the macrocosm, and keeps going smaller and smaller and keeps going larger and larger. And it's all a continual complement. That large, infinite, I wouldn't say large, that infinite machine that comprises of all the gears, large and small. That's the whole point. That's what the councils do. And they are simply speaking out as representatives of the energy that are the purity of every experience, every theme that needs to be brought forward throughout planetary, galactic, universal means. They're just here to assist in regards to upholding all that is true relating to theme, to experience. So again, when there are, I guess you could say, karmic debts that are being repaid, for example, for Saturn, because some people may be saying, well, if nothing's unjust, why is Saturn having some difficulty? It's not that they're attempting to mistreat anybody. It's just that much in regards to what this solar system has been through, relating to the forces that have attempted to create a lot of chaos, to where the councils have attempted to create harmony in between. There has been some difficulty relating to those forces that want to have a truce now, and many of them are not really recognizing the jurisdiction that certain councils have, and they want more of an outside force to come in regards to what they have not been used to dealing with before, and that's when the Andromedan Council comes in. All right. So they have their own star systems, they have their own planets to which they have jurisdiction, and again in that harmony, and that they have been chosen as the ones that hold a very strong observation quality relating to all of these forces to try and keep everything together. Because the Council of Saturn wants to make sure that this is lived out, that this is played out as it needs to, and that just a lot of these particular organizations that have formed truths with the Council of Saturn, with the Confederation of Planets, are being treated in regards to fairness relating to the treaties that have been signed to this organization, to where there has been conflicts in the past. But everything is attempting to be brought forward justly in regards to operating in an observational capacity, which is what the Andromedan Council is doing. So again, there's a lot of stuff happening into our star system. We have just a rich amount of understandings of histories relating to our star system alone, and that all of these particular forces that have worked together to create a lot of conflict are now attempting to regain truth in regards to seeing something that was once their enemy. And now they're attempting to create truths together, but they wanted to request an outside party to be a liaison, to step in and to facilitate a lot of this treaties that are being signed throughout these organizations. And so this is exactly how the councils work, is that when there is a request for an arbitrary state of treaty evaluation, they'll bring an outside party that has not had previous experience with the star system to come in and just to help out. They're not taking over the tasks, they're just making sure everything's kept into balance related to scale. So that's just a little bit of history in regards to our own council and the intervention of the Andromedan Council, which has been talked a lot about. So I thought I would just shed a little bit of extra light on that half. All right. So that's basically the rundown of the councils. But again, just a microcosm to macrocosm relationship, and that they're all part to keeping things together in a liaison capacity, keeping the scales balanced, keeping everything together, staying in the state of observation, and that they are the embodiment of all that represents their microcosmic parts that then represent their macrocosmic affiliations, understandings, wholeness together. That's the whole point of these particular councils. So I hope this video has made sense. If it is a little bit confusing, well, you can always send me an email, info@areyourselfempowered.com. Thank you so much for watching today. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Much love to you all. Take care. Namaste. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please remember to check us out on areyourselfempowered.com for conscious matrix communication, private sessions, either by Skype, one-on-one, or through email readings as well too, a new service that has been brought forward. Akashic perspective sessions in regards to knowing more about your life stream, past lives, future lives, helping you to understand more of the facets relating to your whole being. Body regeneration healing sessions, helping to repair organs, helping to repair other aspects of your body, anything physical, anything energetic, as well as enhancements as well too. And of course, digital download courses that you can grab online as well too, all through areyourselfempowered.com. Thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to talking to you very soon. Much love. Namaste.